You know, I don't think there's anything more earth-shattering or betraying than witnessing the woman you love, the one who embodies your sanctuary of warmth and comfort, in the arms of someone else, or imagining that. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the 6 core principles you need to adopt to beat the other guy, to get her back. Now, his living rent-free in your head will be a faded memory of the past. There will be zero confusion on why she is with him, and actually, you'll laugh knowing what he really is to her at this moment. And then I will show you a way to get her back, and trust me, it's not what you think. Now, most men are pulled in one of 2 directions, maybe both. A part of you wants to say, screw her, it's over. How dare she do that? While this other voice says, why? And how could you do this? I thought you loved me. Well, look, I understand that. And it's why the first principle helps you turn those broken voices into one that says, it's only a matter of time until you want me back. And you mean that. Now look, I had this whole entire script written out on a teleprompter that I was reading, but I'm gonna completely abandon that and just go over the core principles from heart, because I have done this exact process, not just with other clients I've worked with, but myself. And I wanna share with you that repeatable process that will work. And if you don't follow this, you're gonna slip up and you're gonna make mistakes because you don't know what you don't know. So let's jump in. The first principle is called decoding her departure. Look, I know how painful it is for you to think of images of her with him and be confused why she's with this other guy. Like, what is he really providing her with that you can't? I mean, if she even says things to you like, I just want to be happy and he makes me happy, but you know you have the capacity to make her happy, so that's not all she wants. And this guy, he doesn't have what you have. You know that you are better than him, which is why it's so confusing to you. This is the first principle, because one of the biggest common mistakes I will see that men make is that they will attack the other guy, right? They will not understand why she's with him, and they'll just chalk it up to, well, she has self-esteem issues or all these other reasons that take the authority and the influence that you've had in pushing her away in the first place. If you don't have an honest look at yourself in the mirror as to why she actually left you, and really own up to those things that you probably aren't even aware of now, and go through an inquiry, a search process, if inevitably she does give you that small window of opportunity to get back with you because she's bored of the other guy, or things are falling apart, or the disillusionment is coming around, the love chemicals are fading away from them, but you haven't changed, you're gonna miss your shot, and it's gonna be completely over. Because she said, wow, you had all this time to change, and you're the same guy. Now, the most common mistakes I see on the surface that caused her to leave you was you became overly needy, you weren't conscious with her, you weren't in your masculine leadership that you were in the beginning of the relationship. And oftentimes you used logic and you were distracted around her a lot. And the thing you have to really grasp here is that there's no negative experiences with this guy. Yes, she may have all these positive experiences, but you're logically using to say, look at all the memories we have. But this guy, she's in the limerence phase with him, right? She is in that phase of like, he's new and nothing he does is wrong. And it's gonna stay that way for a while, okay? So you have to basically override all those negative effects that you've had, which I'll show you later how to do. But it starts with you understanding that those negative effects, those negative memories did play a role in her leaving you. She didn't go toward this guy, she left you. There's a big difference in viewing it from that perspective. Until you fully own up to the fact that she's left you, right? You weren't being your best self. I know she's not perfect. I know she has things she needs to work on. I get that. But you're gonna clean your side of the street. As a man in your masculine leadership role, you're gonna look at yourself in the mirror and you're gonna say, where did I fall off? What am I not doing correctly? And you're gonna learn a lot in the process, if either on this channel or wherever resources you're going to, about how you were not stepping up to your full potential, not being the conscious leader that you know that you are supposed to be, that you relaxed a little bit too much. And that caused that disconnect over the years and just compounded into what it is now. And some other guy came in when she was questioning the relationship. He didn't take her away. You opened the gate to allow that other guy to come in. That's a fact. This next principle, it may seem obvious, but hear me out. You need complete disengagement. If she has moved out of the house, if you are not living with her, okay? This is different than if you are. But if you're not living with her, you need to stop following her social media. Stop asking through friends. Don't text her unless she texts you. You need that period of space. That is crucial. I was in debate with this for so long, but now I can't deny the facts. Every single guy that has won the woman they want to be with back, they've had a period where they allowed that space to occur. They stopped looking at her stories. And even if you're doing it slightly, where she doesn't actually see it, she feels it. There's something in the ether, in the collective consciousness, where she feels that pull from you, okay, psychically. And I know this is the hardest part, I would say, for most guys, is because you're afraid. You have that fear. That voice says, Josh, if I completely disengage with her, if I don't send her a random text, if I don't find some excuse to talk to her, she'll forget about me. It'll be done for good. No. There was a quote I read recently. Let me see if I can find it for you. You ready for this? This is really good. It's the first time I'm saying this on this channel. To fix a problem, you don't solve it at the same paradigm in which it was created. Meaning, if you're taking the same actions, if you are the same guy and trying to fix this problem from the same person you were that created it, no matter what you do, it won't work. You have to use this space to change. You have the awareness piece after you do that first principle. The second principle is to go forward and have that space from her. This is the hardest thing to do. But I'm telling you, when you have support, like the guys I have in my program, they're able to guide them through the action steps of seeing why she left and taking those corrective actions to fix those problems in themselves. That is paramount in getting her back, okay? Now that you've had space, you understand why she separated from you, those core reasons, we're gonna go to Attraction Central. Now I call it Attraction Central because I see two types of guys that I work with. There are the men that are extremely needy, that lack boundaries, that are afraid of conflict. Most guys fall into this paradigm. That's who I was growing up, okay? Most men are like this because we had the fathers that weren't around and they were abusive or aggressive or isolated or away. And so our mothers raised us more the feminine, wanting the female connection, okay? But then there's the guys who are the aggressive, a-hole, shut down, stoic, controlling. Either way, both of those men don't keep a woman long term, okay? They don't. You need to find that common balance, the apex male. The man who provides the emotional stability that she wants without sacrificing his own needs, but also provides the dominance and leadership without being aggressive and controlling. I talk about this paradigm so much across the channel, so there are plenty of videos that you can check out, but just you have to understand that most men, they have this fear of abandonment, this fear of being alone. And so that when that neediness comes up, that little voice, that little chatterbox is trying to analyze and figure out the right words to say to her, how should I text her this? What should I do? What should I say? You're pushing her away. She feels that energy, that neediness, and she will not be with a man that needs her. She wants to be with a man that wants her. Practically what this looks like on Attraction Central is understanding the core neediness and where that comes from. Now for me, this was a bunch of things I've did to overcome this. I mean, getting really good with social interaction was a huge part of that, and developing my purpose, be more in your core masculine state. But other than that is to recognize the illusion that a woman will give you, right? That your wife will give you, that you're less than without her. The fact that you think that you feel less than without her, that you need her to fill that gap inside of you makes you needy, okay? And so that is the core root issue of it all. And this is what we really focus on behind all the tactics, techniques, building trust, potency action, CLC reports, everything on this channel you'll learn at the core of it. Now for the fourth principle, the idea or the question is like, can you stay friends? Now for most guys watching on this channel, she's your wife, you have kids with her. It's like you can't avoid interaction. So you want to jump into the authentic friendship. A lot of men get confused where the boundaries of this lie. So what will happen is as you start to develop this core confidence in yourself, you're dealing with these past issues, you're uncovering the real reason why she left you, all the things we've been talking about, she's gonna give you more opportunity or excuses to hang out with you. Her curiosity is gonna get the best of her, right? Women are curious creatures by nature, beautiful thing. And what will happen is that she'll find excuses to see you. And when she sees you for those little micro moments, she'll notice a change in you. She will notice a change. And she's gonna test, we'll come to that later, but in those moments, you must understand how to balance showing interest, showing desire toward her without that neediness. And so one of the best ways to do this is to create the authentic friendship. You're going to find things to do with her and become her friend again. Create this fun, energetic exchange between the two of you where there's nothing on your mind that you want from her, right? With that increased space and all of these changes you've made so far, when you have these interaction points with her, and you're just creating fun and you're not wanting anything. You're not asking her to come back to the house. You're not asking her to go on a date yet. You're just showing that you can spend time with her without taking value from her. That curiosity is gonna amplify, double. And she's gonna wonder like, who is this guy? Why does he not need me anymore? And I'm getting a lot of value from him and there's nothing that he wants in return, okay? So you're gonna find fun things to do with the kids or fun things in groups. You're not gonna put the pressure on her to do a one-on-one interaction. I know a part of you probably thinks if I had that opportunity with her, I can show her how I feel and we can reconnect and rekindle everything and it'll be great. That time will come. But most men make the mistake of taking this action too soon. And she's like, yep, see, he just wanted me all along and he's being needy. It was all a facade, right? So you must make sure that you spend at least 3 to 4 interactions, if not 5 to 6, until you see these certain things that she does. Until you see those things, you don't move forward to the next step. You just create a fun, energetic vibe between the two of you, okay? This fun, flirty, back and forth nature is gonna create more curiosity, more attraction, and then she's gonna make more excuses to see you herself. For the next principle, on average, 3 to 4 meetups you have with her, you're creating that funship, that fun vibe with her. There's no need from you. The next step you're gonna do is the meet up and then heat up. Now, a lot of times men will want coaching on when exactly to do this because they don't want to mess it up, and that's what we provide for our program. But Generally, there's something called the compliance test, okay? So one of the times you're hanging out with her, here's what I want you to do. A compliance test is an idea where you make an indirect forward motion of showing that you are into her and letting her accept or reject that, but it's not a flat out rejection. So one example of this is, let's say you're walking with her, you put her hand on her lower back. If she allows you to touch her on her lower back, says don't touch me, or doesn't pull away, she is okay with you accepting touch. That's one example of a compliance test. Another one is to invite her to a date, okay? But when you invite her, you're not going to ask. You're gonna say, I have this fun thing that I'm doing. I have 2 tickets, you should come with. If she says, sure, but it's not a date, or yeah, okay, fine, we'll see if I'm free. Anything other than a no is a yes. Okay, if she puts the caveat in there that it's, oh, yeah, but it's not a date, all this stuff, but she's still going with you, it's a yes, right? So if those are 2 examples, we get plenty more, but those are 2 examples where she's passing the compliance test with you, and then you can go for the specific meetup, and then you'll heat up. Now, in that moment, when she does say yes to you, she's gonna be standoffish. She's gonna pretend that she's not into you, that this is just friendship still, but you have to still make that move forward. You have to know the right attraction tactics, you have to know the right words to say, how to build up the physical intimacy, which I know you've done with her before, but you will get in your own way oftentimes, but you still have to make that move, because at a certain point, you can't maintain this friendship for months, months, and months. You have to go in and sweep her off her feet. You just have to. You have to trigger that biological drive in her that you are a man that will take her. And for this, most men will mess up because they are so scared of being rejected again. And I get it, but this is a primary step in getting her back. The 6th principle is proactive patience. And I want to read a quote from David Deida to kind of encapsulate this. Men who have lived significant lives are men who have never waited, not for money, security, ease, or woman. Feel what you want to give most as a gift to your woman and the world, and do what you can to give it today. Every moment waited is a moment wasted, and each wasted moment degrades your clarity of purpose. A lot of the guys we work with at We Save Our Marriages, they'll get to stage 3 or 4 with their wife, and at that stage, they're like, Josh, she's hanging out with me, we even flirt sometimes, but she's going back and forth in this dual mind narrative that we talk about in this channel, where she's showing interest and she's pulling away, and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to take it to the next step. Now, this is something that, well, we really teach men how to be this ultimate provider for her, not just financially, but the provider in terms of trust, emotional safety, to be that long-term guy she sees. But another component of this is being the short-term protector, right? No one teaches this stuff. I had to go to grad school. I did my thesis on short-term mating selection in college-age females. That's where my mind was at. And what I found out is that there are certain qualities in a man, right? Certain skills, certain words you say, certain behaviors you elicit that trigger that short-term mating response in her, that make her want to be attracted to you. For a lot of guys, the way that you can analyze or assess that you don't have this anymore with her is she said, I love you, but I'm no longer in love with you. Or she says, you're a great father, you know, and a good friend, but it's just not there anymore. That's because you're missing this component, okay? Now, I made a video on this channel recently called Start Flirting to Stop the Divorce. That talks about this aspect of guys that you should develop, so you should watch that next. But other than that, this final component is called proactive patience. A lot of men, you know, you should not rush in the bedroom. You should take your time, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That is the seduction. That is what women are obsessed with, right? That tease, push, and pull, back and forth nature. It's not so direct and linear, masculine, right? The feminine is a flowing dance. And a lot of guys make the mistake, it's coming from neediness, to rush this process. Oh my God, she went on a date with me. Okay, let's have sex and let's get back together. No, there's gonna be this back and forth nature. Okay, she's gonna test, she's gonna tease, she's gonna go on a date with you, pull back. It is the feminine nature to do this, to test you. So the final component is to repeat the 4 processes, keep on getting better at it, right? And eventually over time, this tipping scale will occur where she'll see you as a source of positive emotions more than negative again, okay? But you must have that patience with just repeating the same process over and over. Now, if you need help with any of this along the way, you can set up a call with our team down below. Make sure you are fully committed emotionally and ready to just do something different, because we're gonna push you to the next level to make sure that you become the guy that does get her back, that she'll never leave again, okay? So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and set up a call down below, and the video is right somewhere on the screen. Start flirting to stop the divorce. Start flirting to stop the divorce. Tongue-tied. All right, man. Have a good one.